Is Gal Gadot lying? What's happening? Is Wonder Woman 3 happening? Is it not happening? Is it part of the DCEU? Is it part of the DCU? Is James Gunn and Peter Safran involved? Are they not involved? What is happening? We talked about this recently. Gal Gadot said, I love portraying Wonder Woman. It's so close and dear to my heart. From what I heard from James and from Peter is that we're going to develop a Wonder Woman 3 together. According to this article from Variety, she hasn't even met with Peter Safran and James Gunn regarding this. There are no plans for a Wonder Woman 3. It's not in development. So who's lying? If we go back to 2022, December 6th, this was, at this point we knew the DCU was happening. That there was some new heads, James Gunn, Peter Safran, right? We knew that there was a major shift about to happen or happening. And so the people of the DCEU, I would imagine, were a bit on edge. What's going to happen with our sequels? What's going to happen with our movies? Are we done? What's going on? Okay? Gal Gadot said, a few years ago, it was announced that I was going to play Wonder Woman. I've been so grateful for the opportunity to play such an incredible, iconic character. And more than anything, I am grateful for you, the fans. Can't wait to share her next chapter with you. At this point in time, I don't think her next chapter was guaranteed. I don't think she knew that the next chapter was going to happen. To be honest, when I first saw this tweet, when I first saw her say this, I thought she was mustering the fan base to try and draw attention to a potential Wonder Woman 3 in an effort to fight the potential cancellation. What ended up happening was the movie was canceled. So, if she was trying to muster up the fan base in some sort of restore the Snyderverse type of effort to make sure that the movie does happen, that it does come out, is she doing the same thing over here? Is she saying that she met with Peter Safran and James Gunn when in reality she didn't? I was invited to a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran, Gadot said. And what they told me, and I am quoting, "You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. You've got nothing to worry about. So time will tell." Either she is blatantly lying here. Blatantly lying here. And if she is blatantly lying here, this would seem like she was mustering the fan base because she knew that a potential cancellation was impending. And it was canceled. So was that what she was doing here? And if that's the case, is she doing the same thing now? The sources added to Variety that nothing was ever promised to Gadot regarding Wonder Woman 3. Nor was there any definitive discussion of Gadot's Wonder Woman continuing with the DC universe. So there was no conversation with Gunn and Safran. So either this Variety source is completely lying, or Gal Gadot actually did meet with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and Wonder Woman 3 is going to happen. And it was going to happen back then too. Either Gal Gadot is a liar, or this source, this Variety source, is lying. Or there's some crazy miscommunication going on here. Any way you look at it, this situation is completely messed up. What do you guys think? Who do you think is lying over here? It's insane because they're so completely different reports. I have this article also pulled up over here. If you guys remember, we touched on this a couple times. Paradise Lost. The duo, Peter Safran and James Gunn, described this HBO Max series as a Game of Thrones-style drama set on the all-female island that is Wonder Woman's birthplace, Themyscira. Filled with political intrigue and scheming between power players, it takes place before the events of the Wonder Woman films. If this show takes place before the events of the Wonder Woman films, that means it takes place within the DCEU, which means that it furthers the idea that the DCU is not a hard reboot, it's a soft reboot. We're dragging parts of the DCEU into the DCU, and part of that is Wonder Woman, because if it's taking place before the Wonder Woman movies, that means it's part of that timeline, which means that Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman, which would sort of bring some validity to what Gal Gadot has been saying over here. However, I don't see any source for this statement. I don't see where they got this statement from. I did a little bit of digging. I didn't see anywhere where it said that it takes place before the events of the Wonder Woman films. What I did see was that it was a prequel series, and it takes place before Wonder Woman. So that is very different than saying it takes place before the Wonder Woman films, because the Wonder Woman films would refer to Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. So you can see it taking place before Wonder Woman, a prequel series before Wonder Woman, and taking place before the events of the Wonder Woman films are two very different statements. Because one brings Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman into the DCU canon, and the other doesn't. So, what's going on? We saw that James Gunn also said before that he's open to Jason Momoa coming back, to Ezra Miller coming back, to Gal Gadot coming back. Yet he fired Henry Cavill. He got rid of Henry Cavill because Henry Cavill didn't fit the bill for what he was looking for a Superman. And I'm nothing against David Corenswet. David Corenswet looks like he wants the Superman that I want, a proper traditional classic Superman, just like what Henry Cavill wanted also. But the fact that if this whole Wonder Woman thing, if we're getting a Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, why can't we get a Henry Cavill Superman movie? If Wonder Woman 3 is coming out and it's not going to be part of the DCU, if it's going to be part of the DCEU still, like the Flash that came out, like Aquaman that's coming out, like Blue Beetle that's going to come out, those are DCEU movies. If Wonder Woman 3 is going to be coming out as a DCEU movie, why can't we get a Henry Cavill movie? I don't like the DCEU, okay? But I want to see Henry Cavill finally be Superman. He hasn't been Superman yet. The closest we've got to him playing Superman was that after credit scene in Black Adam. Okay? I want him to get a chance to play Superman because he gets the character. If Wonder Woman 3 is going to be an Elseworld story, again, why can't we get a Superman movie with Henry Cavill that's an Elseworld story? It doesn't even have to tie into the DCU. Just make a Superman movie with Henry Cavill. If Wonder Woman 3 is going to happen, I'd rather have that than it be part of the DCU. Because I'd rather keep the DCU separate. Get it right from the ground up. Don't drag any of this DCEU stuff into the DCU. Do a hard reboot. Get it right from the foundation. Stay true to these characters. Do right by these characters. That's the type of representation I want. I want to see these characters represented on screen properly, faithfully. I don't want to see any director's interpretation, any writer's interpretation, their unique twist and take on these characters. I just want to see these characters on screen. That's it. Okay? Keep it simple. So, if it were up to me, I wouldn't do a Wonder Woman 3 with Gal Gadot. I wouldn't even, as much as I want to see Superman, Henry Cavill Superman, I wouldn't do that. I would focus my efforts on building the DCU from the ground up, doing it right. I wouldn't add to the confusion. We're rebuilding, we're building a universe, okay? We're transitioning from one universe to another. I don't want any confusion. I'd scrap everything from the past and do it from the ground up. But that doesn't seem like what James Gunn is wanting to do. If he's open to these DCEU actors to come in to reprise their roles, if he's bringing in characters from the DCU, and we've seen that, Amanda Waller, he's making a mess for himself. If he was doing a hard reboot, this wouldn't have come. There wouldn't be no question. Nobody would be talking about this. I wouldn't be talking about a video. I wouldn't be making a video about this. Because it would be clear Gal Gadot is not Wonder Woman. She's not going to be part of the DCU. If they were making a Wonder Woman 3, I wouldn't care. Okay, fine, whatever. Make a Wonder Woman 3. Okay, I would prefer not to, but it's not part of the DCU, so fine, do it, whatever. But the fact that James Gunn and Peter Safran's names are coming into question, the fact that they were open to Gal Gadot reprising a role, to Ezra Miller reprising his role, to Jason Momoa reprising his role, the fact that they were open to that, and the fact that James Gunn is not opening his mouth about this, he's staying quiet about this. Honestly, dude, I feel like they don't know what they're doing. I feel like he's not sure if he wants Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman or not. Because with these rumors and all this stuff, usually he comes out and he says it. Yeah, that's not true. He's been saying that. Yeah, there's no validity to that. A lot of that stuff is not even real. He said stuff like he's been saying stuff like that. With something as big and high profile as this, why isn't he coming out and saying anything? So does that mean that it's true? Wonder Woman 3 is going to happen? Is Gal Gadot the Wonder Woman of the DCU? Or is he not sure and he's still thinking about it? What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If it were up to me, I'd scrap the DCU altogether. No Wonder Woman 3, no Henry Cavill Superman, as much as I want to see him as Superman. I'd focus on the DCU, get that right, stay true to these characters, and finally get it right from the ground up. That's what I would do. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think about all this? Do you think Wonder Woman 3 is coming out? And if it is coming out, do you think it's going to be part of the DCEU? Do you think it's going to be an Elseworlds story? Do you think it's going to be part of the DCU? Do you think Gal Gadot is going to be part of the DCU? Let me know. What do you guys think about all this down below in the comment section? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.